injustice becomes law. Resistance becomes resistance. One day, God will hear my prayer. One day, God will hear my prayer. I say one day, God will hear my prayer. One day, God will hear my prayer. Una get for so, una no get trouble that you na just pray. God will hear my prayer. Beginning need to go school, the day is a so that you will just pray. God will hear my prayer. Sing with me. One day, God will hear my prayer. One day, God will hear my prayer. I say one day, God will hear my prayer. One day, God will hear my prayer. See how when it's my day, people not is a push. Begin the people school again, mama. We need cry up. I will pray again. One day, God will hear my prayer. One day, God will hear my prayer. I say one day, God will hear my prayer. One day, God will hear my prayer. I say, so painful for seeing one brother kill another brother. Papa, now you want to know this story. Now you want to know this story. My papa, what is happening for this place now? Hey, food. Begin a day for food, so they don't care what I hold that you they see go. God go hear what prayer. Who no get in house them? They don't go house them that you just pray. God go hear what prayer. Sing with me. God go sing, everybody sing. One day, God go hear what prayer. I say one day, God go hear what prayer. One day, God go hear what prayer. See how when they don't go out, they must have blessed somebody. See how we begin and they go school. Mommy, they go push. I want to get you all again. Who will be now and begin? Who does see? God go hear what prayer. One day, God go hear what prayer. I say one day, God go hear what prayer. One day, God go hear what prayer. Begin then to die you, mommy then to die you. God United Nations, it's just the Lord in Bombay. Politician level, they send the soldier that he forget their brother. Who go hear this story? One day, God go hear what prayer. One day, God go hear what prayer. Sing with me. I say one day, God go hear what prayer. One day, God go hear what prayer. Merci d'Israël Mario El Manada, champion moi. L'Éternel est mon blessé d'un combat. Gloire à Dieu, merci champion. One day, God go hear what prayer. I say one day, God will hear my prayer. One day, God will hear my prayer. Nous allons tout fonder son espoir des enfants de lui.
My fellow Ambazonians, good evening for all. I be una brother Lucas Asu, we na the spokesman for the governing council of Ambazonia. Today, I don't join una for because of waka and because of work. we define all ways to make sure say we communicate to our people them and say no matter what they go on, no matter how we're busy for even make our own ends meet as they talk we'll get the time for dedicate them for the work we our people they don't give we our people they don't trust we for doing for them. So today I don't come for una I did road, I did very far from my own province where I stay there for work. I don't come for una today, but it takes more time based on the request with the Ambazonia Governing Council don't get them from our people on the ground for the necessity, for the need, for this groundbreaking, game-changing policy where they call and say the liberation tax, where they don't create them for the Ambazonian people. Then. Today, I want to try as much as possible for explain the liberation tax based on the demand of our people them for the territory. Where they talk say make the liberation tax, make they explain them, make they break them down for Pidgin. So I know say when they laugh me sometime when I talk for Pidgin, I will do my best for try for interpret them, for try for explain them for Pidgin. All right. So the liberation tax, na article number EO dash slash PR slash A-Gov-C slash 2023 slash 0007 for the month, the creator for the month of July for number 31 day for 2023. And the talk say for all the people them and the obligation, that means say the work and the way the Ambazonian people them, they don't conduct themselves, the way they stay for the diaspora during this period of our liberation. And the thing that we create this liberation tax. Section 1 of the liberation tax, what they call and say preamble, let me say the what it be all about. The talk say, would it take into consideration the war for eliminate the Ambazonian people them, where the government of Cameroon they declare them on our people them for November 30th, 2017. Would it take into consideration all the efforts where our people they don't put them so far by the Ambazonia Defense Forces and all other allied forces for the course of this war? We recognize the efforts and all the hard work where our people they believe for the rights of our people them and their dignity and their freedom. All the people then where they give their time and their effort, where they don't put them for make it be possible for the Ambazonia Defense Forces and all allied forces them for them for stay the course for liberate the people then. Would it take into consideration say the destiny of Ambazonians as a people, it requires collective effort? Would it take into consideration say the things them with the forces they need them, the things them with the Ambazonian people they need them, the things them with our communities they need them, they grow during this period of our liberation, where it concerns self-defense, where it concerns the things them for hospital and clinics, or the people them for keep our people them may they stay healthy, where it concerns school for picking them, and where it concerns all humanitarian activities or services. We take into consideration the power, what they call and say the Public Order Act for number EO PR-A Gov C 2023-001 of July 1st of number 1 day for the number 7 month for 2023. We also consider, say, the liberation of Ambazonia from Cameroon. Say now it's now a responsibility for every person, for every Ambazonian, no matter place where you dey for this world. Would you also consider, say, it not be possible for every Ambazonian to be for the front line for the fight for our liberation? Section 1, we talk about Section 1, where they call and say jurisdiction and the scope of application, where it talks say this act or this law, it will be applied to all Ambazonians where they consider them, say that they stay outside of the territory, where they call us the play, they call us the diaspora during the period of Ambazonian liberation. Number 2, all the people then for diaspora in the context of this law, they will be required by every Ambazonian where it is stay outside of the territory or for the territorial boundaries of Ambazonia, where include people there that stay for La République du Cameroon and people there that stay for any other place. Number 3, say every Ambazonian where it come out for the Ambazonian territory after October 1, 1961, and who it is still stay outside of the Ambazonian territory, it go pay the liberation tax, where they call and say the Ambazonia diaspora liberation tax. It talks say every Ambazonian where it fall for which the section 5/3, where it talks in a public order law, where it transfer all the business activities and the activities of their life for outside of the Ambazonia territory, it be considered for be an Ambazonian where they stay for diaspora, it be it go pay this liberation tax. Section 2, where they talk saying that the tax rate. That means saying how much money an Ambazonian it be required for pay for this liberation tax. According to this law, the liberation tax law, every Ambazonian where it is stay within the continent of Africa, it be required by this public law for the liberation for pay a liberation tax where it be equivalent of a minimum of $50 US, where now for 1 year. Secondly, every Ambazonian where they stay outside of the African continent, it pay a liberation tax for where it be equivalent of the minimum of $100 US. For ground zero, every Ambazonia for the territory, for every man, na 10,000 colonial francs, and for every woman, na 5,000 colonial francs. That law, they be don't pass them. Number 3, it talk the method of payment. The Ambazonia diaspora liberation tax, defined above, they go pay them for using internet, where it will be provided by the Ambazonia Governing Council, and any other way where any person, if he use them for pay the liberation tax, it be acceptable as it be defined, where it be based on your situation, based on your location, based on your own way where you want to use them for pay your liberation tax directly to the Ambazonia Governing Council. And they talk say all these methods they be defined by section 3, subsection 2 where it be by where it be where they talk by the leader of World Liberation, Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba, by a special executive order applicable only in specific circumstances as shall be defined in the order. All right. Now, for section 4 for this thing, they talk about penalties. What it go happen with some person when that person fail for pay a liberation tax? Now, what it be the punishment? What it go be the fine where a person go talk? According to the Ambazonia Diaspora Liberation Tax, it talks a bit compulsory and it be a compulsory. That means say every man and every any woman for the Ambazonia we for diaspora, it been a compulsory thing. That means say you must pay them. You must pay a liberation tax. Not be some no person no they no go choose any person say, oh, because you be this person, you no go pay the liberation tax. The tax be that's something where all man they pay according to this law. So, and if you fail for pay the liberation tax, you only get 30 days. Okay, you only get 30 days from January 1 till January 31st. Now the only time that way you get them for not bet. Now the only time, now the grace period that after that deadline, if you not pay a liberation tax, you go pay a rate, a minimum interest rate, where you be default by say because you not pay a liberation tax. Number one, if you not pay a liberation tax on time, you go pay 25% from the first 30 days, okay, to 90 days. So between the first 30 days to the first 90 days, if you not pay a liberation tax after 1 year, you go pay an interest rate of 25% for, if you be dinner for Africa, for the $50, 25% on top of the $50 you're supposed to pay them. And if you dinner for diaspora, you go pay 25% on top of the $100 where you fail for pay them. Number two, they say if you not pay within that grace period and you leave them, make it reach for 6 months, then your money go up. The interest rate it go up to 50% of the $50 if you did for the African continent, and 150% of the $100 if you did now for the diaspora. And then the talk say if that period don't pass and it don't reach 1 year where you not pay the liberation tax, that means say your interest it go up to 100%. That means if you reach 1 year, you fail for pay a liberation tax. Now you get for pay $50 for the interest rate, and then you get for pay the liberation tax or you fail for pay them. So if you do that for diaspora, you get for pay $100 for interest for punishment, and $100 for the liberation tax where you fail for pay them. So it just be a lot more easier. You just pay a $50 if you did for African continent, and you just pay $100 if you did for diaspora. Okay. And then this one, section 5, it talks section 5, it talks this law is start for the same day where they sign them, for come for law. And then number 6, it talks it will be this law, it will be published for the same day where they sign them. And for here they talk the day where they sign them, it will be now the article, the tax law when a number E0, EO/PR-A-Gov-C-2023-002 when for the number 1 day for the month, for the number 7 month for the month for 2023. All right. Now I don't try. I know say when I laugh. All right. I don't try for explain the law, how it work, who go pay, who no go pay. According to this law, they also talk say every Ambazonian from the age of 18 it be required for pay liberation tax, boy or girl, man or woman, as long as you don't reach the age of 18, you be required for pay a liberation tax. On the ground, me I be talk say na from 21 years, but I go back, I go check the liberation tax law for the ground. If correction day, I go come back, I can make correction. But the one for diaspora, the talk say na from 18 years. For that section, I never read the one for ground zero. I go read them, and if any other correction day, I will come make them for public. All right. Then I get very good news for all the people who they don't pay their liberation tax using mobile money. Okay. So you feel use internet for provide you with a link where you use and for pay for internet. But when I know say as we don't talk, we know what people their circumstances. And so it make it be very easy for every Ambazonian, no matter place where you dey, so that make you pay the liberation tax and you know go stress. So for all the people who don't contact me, we don't provide no mobile money number, and when I don't pay when I liberation tax. For last week, I be promised say the people that never receive their receipts, they will receive their receipts this weekend. We just end yesterday. So the good news I want to report for everybody, say all those people them, there are about 25 of them, we would never get their receipts. When I receive, they don't be available. Immediately after I finish this broadcast, I go send all when I receive them for the way when I talk, say make I send them for una. All right. Second thing I want to talk for the people them for ground zero and the people that will expect their receipts. The system right now it generate receipts not only for dollar amount. So if you pay 5,000, you go see and say it will be now about $9 US for your receipt. So when you see $9, may you not ask and say why I pay for 5,000 and then they show me receipt now for $9. They try to make the system maybe a lot more better. And if you pay na 10,000 as man picking, may you know say for your receipt you will see na $18. So make you not worry. Say, oh, Mr. Spokesman, Mr. Asu, I pay my money now for Colonial CFA. Why did they give my receipt now for dollars? Now so the system it do them now. What technician them, what webmaster, what web programmer, all the technician them where they work for the liberation tax system, they do their best for change them so that when you pay 5,000 colonial francs, your receipt it go show na 5,000 francs. You pay na 10,000, your receipt go show 10,000. And so me too, I therefore when I back, I don't raise the same question. Say why person for ground zero where he pay na for colonial currency, why he receipt go be for dollars? So me, I don't make that argument on una behalf, even before una one start for us the question them. Because I the reason with una, I the listen for una, and we take una advice into consideration. For make me be very easy so that make people not be confused. Because a very important question for say why person go pay in money for dollars and you go give a receipt you put in a colonial currency. It makes no sense. If person pay for colonial currency, make A Gov C finance department and the technology expert them, they make sure say it get a receipt where it reflect the money we use and for pay. You pay for colonial currency, your receipt it get for reflect the amount for colonial currency. You pay for dollars, your receipt it get for reflect the amount in dollars. So I don't put that request and I don't discuss with the cabinet and we don't put the matter into the financial department and what technical expert them, what digital technical expert them for fix that problem as soon as possible. All right, good. So now, the question we all we get for asking, why the liberation tax? And why now? Why the liberation tax? And why now? Since 1961, the Ambazonian people, they never ever create a mechanism, a policy, we make Ambazonians collectively, they stand for something, they believe for something, they participate for something, forget a sense of ownership as citizens. We never ever get that mechanisms. We never ever get a system, a policy or an idea where it move all way for commit, for save the Ambazonian state. Since 1961, no way, not the way, we as a people, we keep our own people safe. The most important thing for our people, their lives. I say the one feel safe. Mommy one feel safe. Papa one feel safe. We want make our picking to be safe. We never ever generate anything if we give our people them a sense of safety. Because we not do them, that's why Cameroon start for kill our people them. That's why since 1961, if you go for any village, go for any town, they pick any person, disappear ye, kill ye, and they go just die in vain. No accountability, no justice. That's why our people that they live in fear. Because the only thing we if guarantee say they will be alive, we never ever create them. Our people they know they need peace. They never ever get peace. Cameroon military, Cameroon gendarme, Cameroon police, Cameroon colonial SDOs and colonial administrators. They don't turn our people them like football. Abuse them anyhow. Treat them anyhow. Create insecurity. They will come for village, use their guns where they carry them, use their army, police, gendarmes, and now the bees. Just enter for our community them anyhow. Catch our people them anyhow. Our people not feel safe, they not get peace. Now you tell me, now how a people they feel live a life where for their own village, they not feel safe. They come up from village or go for town, they need to feel safe. At any moment, you feel lost your life. We feel lost our lives. Mommy feel lost in life. Mommy feel go for bed for night and he sleep. We know say at any time, even during that time where they sleep, a life will come to an end. So now which kind of sleep mommy go get her? If mommy dey go bed, he no say no feel safe. Papa dey go bed, papa no say need to feel safe. Now you tell me, mommy need to feel safe, papa need to feel safe, uncle need to feel safe. Now how pikin them they go feel safe? When all man know say as I dey go bed, they fit can kill we for sleep. They fit can broke house. Kill mommy, kill papa, kill uncle, kill big mommy, burn house. You feel sleep for night? Well, people not feel they need to feel safe. Any man would they alive, but they die inside because you need to feel safe. You go for bush, you don't know whether as you go that bush, you go even come back. You need to feel safe. At every moment, every Ambazonia, it face an existential threat for a life. If you take life away like that, and a life go lost. You tell me, now how a people, they feel survive? When they need to feel safe, they don't get peace, even for make famine. And their lives will be consistently threatened by unknown terrorist element created by the colonial state. We don't live like this since 1961. This war not been at the start of the insecurity on our people. This war just exposed the barbaric nature of the Cameroon state. This war, it just exposed the terrorist nature of the Cameroon state. This liberation tax, and for the first time for our people, their lives, since 1961, for create an environment for the protection of our people them, for keep our people safe, for keep our people them alive, for protect them, for create peace within our communities, and for make sure so our people, their lives, they not be threatened. To make sure say my if you go for bed, it cover her eye in peace. Forget fine night sleep. And if you come out house, you go for bush, begin to know what the word is say, mommy no come back. Papa know what the word is say, my woman go bush, no come back. Mommy know the word is say, papa go bush, if papa go come back or he not come back. Every day where an Ambazonia stay alive, now by the grace of God. Every day where an Ambazonia is stay alive, where you see the next day, you see the next moment. That just the grace of God that they keep our people in my life. We no fit live with people them for such vulnerable states. We no fit live with people them for such vulnerable existence of constant uncertainty and threats. That's why, after 7 years, we don't do our best. The expert within Ambazonia Governing Council, the best we will get them amongst us, they talk say, we must create a liberation tax. We go help we as a people. Not be only for fight like the Republic of Cameroon, but for give our people them the most important things for life. For create, will make them feel safe within our territory, within our communities. For give them the peace where they need them. For remove all the threats for their lives. The liberation tax, and for help the Ambazonian people them, for raise the required money, for increase the capacity of our defense forces. We will provide the kind of security for our people then. As we don't explain that many times for all Ambazonians. All the tax we come on, they collect them for Ambazonia. You use them for create a large army, for use them as a terrorist weapon, for keep our people them under fear. When they catch enough, when they kidnap enough, when they torture enough, all we will start to live into submission and for remain slaves of Cameroon. The liberation tax, now for number one, create the kind army will be strong enough, like every other people where they don't be for our situation and for our condition. They know say the survival of their people are the most important thing. First, the survival of our people. Second, the protection of our people. Number three, for create safe environment. Number four, for give our people peaceful communities where they feel build their lives, raise their children under loving circumstances, create abundance, create better life for our people. Our people that be very hardworking. If we give them a safety environment, peaceful environment, protective environment, our people, they be hardworking enough, we will provide better lives and better quality of life we are picking them. And the most important thing, that every country for this world, they prioritize the defense, security, peace, and safety of their people them more than anything else. Every country, every people, they know say the safety of their people them now their number one priority. The Ambazonia Governing Council, it make the safety of the Ambazonian people them as the number one priority for this liberation. The protection of our people them, so that more Ambazonians they feel live for see the freedom than for we for allow our people them may it be wasted. The lives of our picking them, the lives of our mommy, they be taken away carelessly by the Cameroon terrorist state. That's why a collective responsibility for the 8 million Ambazonians in the territory. It be our collective responsibility for raise enough money and this liberation tax. Now for raise enough money for take the responsibility for give our people them the protection, the peace, and for keep them safe. Number 2, for eliminate all internal and external threats on the lives of an Ambazonian across the Ambazonian territory. Secondly, this liberation tax and for help we the Ambazonian people them for start for take ownership of our institutions. For take ownership. 70% of the liberation tax, it will go for the defense, for the protection, and for the safety of the Ambazonian people then. It will go for the defense of Ambazonia. 70% of the liberation tax money. Alright? 15% of the liberation tax money, it will go now for build quality education, quality schools, quality classrooms for an Ambazonian child. The remaining 15% are for build clinics for community, build hospitals, provide better treatment, hire better nurses, doctors, lab technicians, for provide better quality, free health care for the Ambazonian people there. Now the foundation of a state is keep people them safe, you protect them, you educate, you provide a quality education for the future of that state, for the economy of that state, for the well-being of the citizen, and for the prosperity of the people there. Without an effective 21st century practical science-based education, the Ambazonian child, it will be left behind like the primitive picking them with the Cameroon colonial education system, it produce them. The Cameroon education system, the Cameroon colonial education system, now a caveman-based education system, now an education system for the dark ages, we did not meet up to the reality of the 21st century human being. That's why an average Cameroonian, they not get confidence. That's why they not stand for criticize their own government. They not hold their government accountable. They not hold their police them accountable. An average Cameroonese, they not get logical thinking system because the colonial education system, now a vague education system without purpose. The only thing that say you go school. For we for Ambazonia, our education will be now a 21st century science and technology based education for create a superhuman being. An Ambazonian Pekin, it will be now a super human being. Where if he come out Ambazonia, he enter for the United States. It could be more intelligent. It could be more aware. It could get more confidence. It could get more self-esteem past speaking for United States. If he come now for Canada, it could get better self-esteem, get more self-confidence. It could be internationally aware and adaptive to the environment. An average Cameroonese, when he come out that primitive caveman country, he come for diaspora. It had been a primitive human being. You did see him for a face, you did see him for a eye, you did see him for a attitude, you did hear him for a language. An average Cameroonese, when he come out that primitive, backward, stone age, caveman country, where they call and say Cameroon, when he come for diaspora, the primitivity, it there for a blood, it there for a skin. Because of the backward colonial education system. All right? The liberation tax. Now the first time this, for the history of our people then, where we don't create a policy, a law, where it gives we absolute control of the territory. Because now only people there, they get control of the territoriality. Now only them fee impose tax. This liberation tax, it give Ambazonia. This liberation tax now a full declaration of the sovereignty of Ambazonia by the Ambazonian people them. And it send a powerful signal to the international community. Say the people don't take charge. Because now only people them. Cameroon no get control of Ambazonia again. By this liberation tax, Cameroon it not get any more control for our territory. Now we now feel impose taxation. Now we now feel collect taxation as a people for our own territory. So we now understand the significance of this liberation tax. If nothing else, pay the liberation tax because it gives you full rights back for your own sovereignty. If nothing else, pay the liberation tax for the simple reason. Say now you now control Ambazonia. Now you now get Ambazonia. Now you feel impose tax. Now you feel collect tax. And now you feel determine how Ambazonia be. Your liberation tax now for give you full authority for the transition authority for Ambazonia for self-governance. For we for fit start for govern ourselves. Every community, they go work with the community and the forces through the transition authority. For develop community-based initiatives. And the liberation tax, as we don't describe them, through the 3 layers with the focus day for the defense of homeland for the liberation, 70%, 15% for quality education, 15% for healthcare and community development. Now the first step is for the takeover. Now for you. For all Ambazonians, so they did for La République du Cameroon. You know how they treat you for inside La République, right? You know how they treat you. You know how they call you. Pay your liberation tax. 5,000 for woman them, 10,000 for man picking them. No matter how difficult things be, pay your liberation tax. Now part of your responsibility for reclaim your dignity. Okay? If you dey outside Ambazonia, pay your liberation tax. It's no place like home. No matter how much freedom and opportunities we enjoy them for this part of the world, where these people then too they suffer for end colonialism and occupation of their country then. They fight this country with me a day for Canada, where they enjoy all the rights and privileges of a citizen as an Ambazonian Canadian. And I feel safe and secure and being protected no matter the place where they for this country. I be protected by all the instruments of the state. My safety, my security, I be protected. We all need forgive our people them. We drive in the last 2 days. We drive 2,381,000 kilometers in the last 2 days. Go through 4 different provinces. Everywhere we reach, no matter the province, no matter the culture, no matter the community, you feel safe, you be welcomed as a citizen, even if you be visit. Okay? We fight, not be for the men outside here. When 99% of all our relatives, our families, our friends, them, they did back home. We live for strangers their land. But fortunately, based on their compassion, the compassion of their culture, the tolerance of their culture, the openness of their culture, the welcoming nature of their culture, they give you a secondary home for feel safe, for experience all the gifts of life and all the gifts of a human being, of a free human being. The Hague of Sea, the Ambazonia Governing Council, he want to take all these, give them where God create them for a human being, for give them back for the Ambazonian people. Give them back the power for govern themselves and for determine their own political institutions and for choose leaders, nationalist leaders, for serve the people, for serve the interest of the people, for create super citizens, prosperous citizens, accountable, effective government, accountable, transparent, strong institutions, where no man not be powerful than the institution. No man not be stronger than the laws. I'll tell you a story. Yesterday, when we did drive, I did pass through the province of Quebec, when I one of the French provinces for here. The speed limit it be then at 90 kilometers per hour. And when I look the GPS, it tell we say we still get like 1,200 and something kilometers to go. I'm like, holy shit. We still get such a long way to go. That means we no reach like 5 o'clock for morning time for the next day. That means today for 5 o'clock for morning time. So I thought, so okay. I look at GPS look me. Say, you sure say when I go reach, when I go drive this remaining 1,200 and something kilometers where remain, I put a marsh fire. Now me that, as I did drive, I did make almost 127 kilometers per hour for a 90 zone road. The law did it. They say maximum 90 kilometers. I say, police are not there. I mean that at the marsh fire they go. Before I want to see, from my front, I seen a police motor there for highway. Police motor. I want slow. By the time I want slow down, they don't use that camera where they call them radar. They don't already grab my speed limit. And then I see pass me, he go turn. I just talk to my colleague and say, hey. It like say, the policeman don't, he don't see we. Now that for back, woo. I did for another province, so I just drive me for highway, for the go for our own side. They stop me. They can't stop me. He say, Mecca, I bring down my window. It be very polite. He no point me gone. He no shout for me. He no yell for me. He just talk for me, say, hello. He asked me whether they speak na French or I prefer make it talk for me for English. I tell him, say, well, If you only talk that they are French, no only small. But if he talk me, I go understand her. If he know if he talk for English, me talk for French, me I go understand. And then I go respond for English. I ask if he hear English. He say yes. He hear perfect English. He come on for the French province. As a public servant, he go on for serve me. He go on for protect me. He go on for make sure say me and no speed too much. Cause accident where he go kill other people then. So he stop me. He say make I show my driver's license. I show the registration of the vehicle will be the drive, a company vehicle, and then make we show the insurance. I move my wallet, I give him my driver's license, we'll give you registration of the company vehicle, we'll give insurance. He take me go back. He say me go check my record. He go check whether else and say they clean. Alright, no money to find me. Alright. He come back after 10 minutes. After I don't check me all for system. Because he just check for system. Check. System go pull everything about you. He come back. He say, say, you overspeed. I say, look, Oga, not true. Say I be the speed. But I not be know how much I be the speed. He say, okay. I want to tell you, so you be do 127 kilometers per hour for a 90 limit, for a 90 zone road speed limit. He said because of that one, according to section this of the law of the state of the province of Quebec, we go give you a ticket. He write a ticket, and that ticket where they give me, he give me a ticket and I write am. That ticket they already put on for internet for not before, he not put on for internet, but they already put on for the system. And then he give me the receipt. He say you go pay $227. Sorry, $275 for overspeeding. And if he bribe, he no go take bribe. All the thing we do it be recorded. He moto the record my conversation with you. And he moto get video camera. We the record my conversation with you. And they listen for radio. He get that radio. The moment he stop me, they put that radio on. The whole police bureau for where they work they listen that conversation. For works, for make sure say it not be corrupt. The process it be transparent and it be equal for all man. I tell you say no problem. I take the receipt. He said the only thing we ask me is to make us slow down. He said for my own safety. He said even if we go far, slow down when I go reach. Now so laws the day. It be just. We want to create a just society for our people then. Where our people they not go be intimidated by the police. The police they didn't for serve you. The Ambazonian forces, they create the ADF. Now a force of the people, for the people, by the people, for the protection and safety of the people. That's how our police they will be. Nobody will be above the law. No matter who you be, no matter the place where you come out, the police will police them. They could treat you with fairness. They could treat you with respect. That policeman be treat me with respect. Even though I don't violate a public act, he still treat me with respect as a citizen. Because a right they not pass my own. I be a citizen, I be a citizen. And as a public servant, it go now for serve me. I'm a go now for respect the institution of our state, of our country. When I get faith, the Ambazonia Governing Council, they want to give all we a country will never get them before. And no say because we don't live for the corrupt nature of the Cameroon state. When things be straight, most of the time people need to like them. Because we don't live too much through corruption. The process of the liberation tax. Now one of the first public law. That transparency. At the end of every month, the Ambazonia Governing Council, he owe the Ambazonian people them, for can't tell them how much money the Ambazonia Governing Council, they don't raise them for for liberation tax on the territory and for diaspora. Whenever they make expenditure for the liberation tax money, the Ambazonia Governing Council, it go put out a public statement. On this day, they put 2 million, 1 million, or 3 million, or 500,000 for community school. They go put them out. For this place, on this day, we put 5 million for build a clinic. For this place, on this day, they put 20 million for the defense of homeland to the Ambazonia Defense Forces. If they give na 3 million for sister forces, they go put them out. Every expenditure where they make them for the public liberation, public money where they collect them, where the egg of sea they collect them, the egg of sea owe the Ambazonian people them complete transparency on how every single franc or dollar it be spent. For waiting the egg of sea, it don't promise for deliver them, for create them, for do them, for give them for the Ambazonian people them. Now the country this would be them, now the system this would be them, now the institutions and this would be them. Pay your liberation tax. Any man for the territory where you not pay your liberation tax, as you don't talk them, not even try for worker. If you be driver, your motor, you never pay your own liberation tax. Not carry that motor, drive on for Ambazonian road. Because they go stop you. If you not get that money for paying for that place, that motor no go come out. If you not pay a liberation tax, not if just forget for worker. For come out from one town to the next. Because you don't know when they go stop you. And when control day, liberation tax no day, you go come down out of that motor. You hear? You go come down out of that motor. Until you pay a liberation tax, you enter there and continue. Driver, not carry a man or woman who never pay liberation tax. Because when they stop them for road, they go come out inside that motor. And if they not get that money for their skin, they will work out for food. Pay your liberation tax. It be based on our collective survival. All we must survive. Now our responsibility. Our forces, they will be firm. The Ambazonia Governing Council, they try to work with all forces them on the ground. Okay. The Ambazonia Governing Council, they work with they do its best for get all forces on the ground for benefit for the liberation tax so that if we stop all the kind small thief them, the small harassment on the population by forces. Because these forces, they want to survive. Most forces, they don't get a sustainable method for the survival of the forces. The forces, they will choose for either implement the liberation tax independently on their own. We go help them for give them the transition authority receipts. Then for those receipts, they go put the name of those forces as the enforcement authority within their area of control. Those forces, they owe the Ambazonia Governing Council and the Ambazonian people them how much money it be collected at a specific period of time. So that accountability will be throughout across the board. We want help forces them, may they get steady supply of material so that these forces they feel survive, and these forces them they feel become stronger for defend and protect our people them. Their survival be very critical when forces they not get steady means for protect and survive for survive themselves. They go resort to criminality using the same guns where Ambazonia people they don't help them for acquire them to fight like the public. Now through systems like this, it will help we become more effective and focus all Ambazonians, especially on the ground, for focus on La Republique and for the protection of our people. We need to become much more effective. At the beginning of the journey, this for reclaim our homeland. Make it be very hopeful. If you did for diaspora, do your part. Pay your liberation tax. Now only $100. It's not be much. For diaspora, most people they get credit card. go for adler.africa. You pay your liberation tax today, or you contact me, and I will provide you with alternative methods of payment. Once you pay your liberation tax, you submit your receipt of payment. We ensure say you get your tax receipt, no matter the form of payment where your money come through. All right? Make una get hope. Make una get faith. And also we go through difficult times. Difficult times, as Robert Schuller, he write for a book, Tough Time Never Last, but tough people do. If you don't read that classic book, that timeless inspiration, that book will lay a lot of principles. This word will only make we Ambazonians to become stronger. It will make we become stronger. I don't become so much more stronger because of this liberation struggle. I don't learn so much more. I don't know so much more. It don't help me for know all the areas across Ambazonians. Connect with so many people across our communities. I get some of my best friends that people don't want to know them for this liberation struggle. Some of my closest friends. The families, the way they don't adopt me like their Pidgin, like their friends across Ambazonia. So we'll be very grateful for this responsibility when I don't give for you. I will be so grateful for serve our people them for this time. I'll be so grateful for the courageous stories them at the year from my mommy them, at the end from my papa them. The courageous stories and acts of kindness during this period. The kindness of our people them, we don't see them more than any time before. A family where they only live for one room, yet they take in another family of 4, live for that same one room, just because they no one make that family with small picking them, may they go stay for bush. We don't see kindness. Big mommy they cook chop for CIV support picking them, where their papa and their mommy don't die. Kindness from uncles and aunts. Kindness from complete strangers. The kindness and the love of our people them. It don't survive so many people them. I encourage all we for show that patriotism. The days ahead will be better. Things that get better and better and better and better and better. When I don't see how the more stronger we become, the more we reduce Cameroon, their killings on our people them, and we reduce the house where they born them. Look at the past 1 month. The policies don't put them out. Okay? For the Ambazonia offensive strategies and the Ambazonia deterrent strategies. Look how they don't weaken the Republic of Cameroon. Would only get better. Help the state make it survive and make more people to live. Help make you play your part for make all we be free. You want be free. The more all we pay our liberation tax, the faster we get a free homeland. All right? We'll not survive without a powerful defense or military force. The liberation tax have to take we far than we don't ever be. Pay your liberation tax with happiness. If you get any question, you get any concern, always feel free for contact me. Or when I get my WhatsApp number for the broadcast, I put them right on the right top right hand corner for the broadcast. If he asks any person for AGOFC, me give you my number. Now feel free for reach out to me. One, thank all the families. Some family, they just pay their liberation tax and they'll be so happy for tell me, say, Mr. Spokesman, I just pay my liberation tax. And I want to thank you for the great job we did do for homeland. All we did do and for you, the ordinary Ambazonia, we never get voice. You never get hope. I forgive you a voice. I forgive you hope. I for make you feel human again. I for make sure say mommy if you go for bed, you say they will wake up and they are beginning to be safe. Papa if you go bush, you know say if you come back safe. Now in our homeland is, it's nothing like home. We must get Cameroon out of our land. And if all we pay our liberation tax, if we promise the Ambazonian people them, in a relatively short period of time, when I see how Cameroon will pack out of our land, two things if it happen. Cameroon quickly pack out of our land, or they quickly come back to the negotiation table. But now only we get control of what happen. Whether negotiation happen or Cameroon pack out of our land, now we get control of that and not the international community. Now what we do for ourselves, it will determine the reaction of the international community. When we take certain actions over the last year, it push Cameroon for one can negotiate and then they start their own infighting, and then Mr. Biya, it threatened a back out small. Now we now get for put fire and determine the kind of negotiation we want them. The liberation tax, now for take we, kick Cameroon out and give we the sovereignty and independence. Cameroon get the choice based on what action for can negotiate the exit out of Ambazonia, or we'll kick them out of Ambazonia and drag them back to their primitive Mongo bridge across. And for the rest of their lives, they will know say a brave generation be rise. Stand for something noble. Be that Ambazonia. Pay your liberation tax. Pay them with pride. If you not get any question, no waste time for contact me. Alright? If you call me and no answer, me no say because of time difference or because of work. But anytime I get more time, I will always check my messages and respond to all una. Alright? When I get a blessed night, when I get a good night, may God keep una safe. May God keep una strong. When I be hopeful. Pay your liberation tax so that we'll be free soon. Now take care.